I really tried to paint my pain, but I just couldn't do it. The same body parts kept disappearing from my sketches. Eventually, I realized I couldn't paint it because I had been completely ignoring the problem. I am currently creating an exhibition about my experience with chronic pain. And along the way, I am exploring the question, can art actually heal? For this piece, I created a self-portrait. And in this video, I will take you through the entire process, the story behind it, and how making this painting completely changed the way I experience pain. About a year ago, I started sketching ideas around the theme of chronic pain. I wanted to capture what the pain actually felt like, but somehow I just couldn't access it. All I ended up with were sketches in which the painful parts of my body were simply missing. At first, I was frustrated that I couldn't draw my pain, until I realized this is the problem. I've been in so much pain that I have spent years trying to stay as far away from it as possible. I've become so good at ignoring those parts of my body that I barely even acknowledge they exist anymore. That's why I couldn't draw them, because in my own experience, they almost weren't there anymore. So before I could draw the pain itself, I first had to take a step back. Instead of asking how does it feel, I first needed to ask where do I feel? Those painful areas, my entire pelvic region, my bum, parts of my upper legs, but also the right side of my face, especially my jaw and my ear. And that's why I wanted to create a large self-portrait that tells this story. But how do you depict something that feels like it doesn't exist? How do you make the absence of something the focus of an image? Through contrast. Without darkness, there's no light, and vice versa. So I wanted to create a portrait where the left side of my face is illuminated, while the darkness on the right becomes the true focal point. The concept was clear. Everything was perfectly planned. But I am not exactly the kind of person who sticks to carefully thought out plans. I love diving straight into a project and figuring things out as I go, working on instinct. Unfortunately, after a while, I realized I have taken several wrong turns. This painting simply wasn't becoming what I had envisioned, which was frustrating because before starting this portrait, I had completely immersed myself in facial anatomy, hoping to become better at painting portraits. But somehow, I wasn't actually applying any of that knowledge. So I decided to take a few steps back and rebuild the foundation of the painting. Because I wanted this portrait to reflect my study of the face, especially my own face and its pain. Not through emotion, but through careful observation. I noticed there was this constant ping-pong match between painting methodically and painting intuitively. I may have learned a lot about anatomy and color theory, but the moment I put a brush on the canvas, I completely forgot the plan I had made. Parts of me find that frustrating. I just wish I were better at following a structured process. But truthfully, it doesn't really surprise me. It's exactly how I deal with my pain. I spent all this time trying to understand it, trying to learn about it. But the moment I actually feel pain, I suppress it and forget everything I had planned to do. But something unexpected happened while painting my own portrait. My perception started to change. For months, I'd been trying to figure out what I was feeling and where exactly I was feeling it. Instead of immediately pushing those sensations away, I suddenly became curious about them. I started noticing that I clenched my jaw far more often than I realized. I could feel the muscles around my temples tightening, and I noticed much sooner where certain sounds started to irritate me. Maybe that doesn't sound like a big deal, but before this, I often didn't realize something was wrong until the nerve pain shoved through my teeth, or I started seeing black spots in my vision, or I felt like someone was stabbing my ear with a knife. Now I was catching those signals long before they become severe. And because I recognize them earlier, I can actually do something about them. Relax my jaw, walk away from loud environments, or put in earplugs. And because I studied the anatomy of the face for this painting, I now know exactly which muscles are involved. I can consciously relax them or give them a small massage. So working on this painting didn't just help me acknowledge my pain, it helped me respond to it much sooner. And that has honestly been such a relief. What started as an attempt to represent my pain turned into learning how to feel it in the first place. It became an exercise in acknowledging my own body. And with that came a real sense of relief. I don't know whether art can heal my pain, but this painting has helped me listen to my body again. And that definitely makes me want to keep going. Because this is only one piece for my exhibition about chronic pain. There are many more to come. By the way, I'm still looking for a good title for this painting. So if you have any ideas, I would love to hear them in the comments. If you would like to support me in creating this exhibition, you can do so by making a donation through my Ko-fi page or by leaving a super thanks below this video. And if you cannot support the project financially, but would still like to help, liking the video, subscribing or sharing it with someone who might enjoy it really helps the channel grow. If you would like to know when I upload a new video, don't forget to click the notification bell. And if you are looking for something to watch next, highly recommend these two videos. In this one, I spent 5 weeks trying to improve my drawing skills using nothing but visualization before painting this portrait. And in this one, I explore the question, can art actually heal? And I will see you over there.